Hi everyone, I am Miss Macedo. Welcome to our lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about setting and characters. Are you ready? Let's get started. The setting is where and when a story takes place. Characters are the people and animals in a story. Both setting and characters are story elements. Before we move on, let's take a look at story elements. Story elements are the pieces or ingredients that, when put together, make up a narrative story. Identifying and remembering story elements will help you understand a story better. Story elements include characters, setting, problem, solution. Characters are the people and animals in the story. Setting, when and where the story takes place. Problem, the conflict or main problem that the characters have. Solution, how the problem is solved. In this lesson, we'll focus on characters and setting. Setting, when and where a story takes place. Examples of settings are forest, beach, house, park, pool, zoo, circus, and amusement park. The setting describes where and when the story takes place. It helps build background and creates images in the mind. Example, it was her first time visiting New York City. As you can see in the visual, there is a girl in New York City. In this example, New York City is the setting. Setting can be a time of the day, weather, temperature, season, indoors, outdoors. Example, she was afraid because it was dark outside. In this example, dark outside is the setting. So the setting is outside, and the author is explaining that it is dark. As you can see, the time of the day, it is dark outside. Setting can be a location, neighborhood, streets, a city, floor, an apartment. An example here, as you can see in this picture, is New York City. It is a city. It is an example of setting. And also, this house is an example of setting. Now, let's talk about characters. Characters are the people and animals in the story. As you can see here, the people in the story Twilight are the characters of the story. When we think about characters, we can think of protagonist and antagonist. The protagonist is at the center of the story, makes the key decisions, and experiences the consequences of those decisions. The protagonist is the main character of the story. For example, in Harry Potter is the protagonist of Harry Potter. He is the main character. In the Hunger Games, Katniss is the protagonist. She is the main character. On the other hand, you have antagonist. The antagonist is the primary opponent of the protagonist. So is the person who will fight the protagonist, the person who goes against the protagonist. An example would be Voldemort in Harry Potter. Voldemort is an example of an antagonist. Now, let's see if you learned. Okay, it is your turn to test your learning. Setting is, you are going to pause the video and choose one of the answers, and I am going to read it. Setting is A, where and when a story takes place. B, the people in the story. Pause the video and you choose one. You can point at the correct answer, or you can grab your notebook and write it down. Now, which image represents the setting of a story? Pause the video now and look at these two images and choose the one that represents the setting of a story. Is the castle or is the person? Now, which image represents the character of a story? This girl in picture A or the castle in picture B? Pause the video and point to the correct answer. Now, characters are, which one is the correct answer? A or B? A, where and when a story takes place, or the people in the story? Which one is the correct answer? Pause the video and point to or write down the correct answer. And the last activity that we are going to do today, you are going to create setting by drawing your favorite place. So you can either draw or describe your favorite place in order to create setting. So take your notebook and either draw or describe your favorite place. In today's lesson, we learned about setting and characters. Setting is where and when a story takes place, and characters are people and animal in the story. Thanks for watching the video.